Hello everyone! Popping on a few minutes early, if you can believe that. I'm usually, last minute Nelly. So I've had such a busy month of March with the onstage, and then my niece got married last weekend and I was in Houston. It was wonderful. And now I'm back. So I am so happy to be here with you tonight. So my name's Kathy Schmitt. I am the Backyard Stamper, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Loudon, New Hampshire. And tonight is part 3 of my series called Craft Your Stash. And the purpose of this series is to pull out those old stamp sets that you have and use what you've got. And, if you want to keep on crafting, you don't have to purchase everything in the catalogs. I mean, I know I can't do that. There's very few that can. So, but I do really like to use my stamps more than once. And so my strategy is to, with this program, is to encourage you to craft your stash. So I'll show you what we're going to be doing tonight. Let me flip the camera down. I didn't check my camera to make sure everything's all set, so hopefully it is. No, not too bad. Okay. I got a ruler in the picture, but we'll move that out of the way. All right. So we're going to make this sweet little shaker card using the Easter Bunny stamp set and the matching punch, which I know this was not in stock very long, and I know it caused some heartache for people. But what's really nice is these the only bunny the punch cut out was this one. They're all easy to hand cut. So never fear if you missed out on the punch, but this stamp set's retired. But if you see that on one of those platforms that sells used stamps, even if it doesn't have the punch, grab it because it's perfect. Okay, so of course I make commission on what I sell, but I also love crafting, and that's why I want to encourage you to use what you've got in your stash so that it keeps you crafting and enjoying all the stamps that you purchased because you love them so much. I know that's why I buy them. All right, so this is a shaker card, and we're going to do some fun things to make this card, and at the end I will show you some other cards that I made using this stamp set. So I'm going to just put this over here. All right. And let's see here. I've kind of got things set up because we're actually going to make this card on Saturday in my class at my house. We don't usually do fun folds, but we're going to give it a shot. And so after tonight, if you just give me a little bit of time, I will have a PDF that shows the layout for this particular card, and so that you can reproduce it with or without the shaker part. I mean, this looks so cute even with just popped up like that with just the bunny rabbit. So I'll show you how we are going to do this. So if you're new to my channel, please give me a thumbs up, like and share my video, and be sure to click the bell so you know when I go live. I go live with my Craft Your Stash video every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, so like I said, I wasn't quite ready, but getting there. So we have my supplies here, and you're going to need a piece of cardstock. This is Calypso Coral, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So that's going to get folded, and we'll burnish that. And then I have a piece of designer paper, and this is the bokeh paper that's in our current catalog. Let me just see where that is, because other than the stamp set, I am using current products. So this is the bokeh paper, beautiful bokeh paper right here. So we're using a couple different colors in there. What's really nice about that is it has a boatload of paper, colors in it, and both sides are really good. So you can use whichever side you'd like. So that's going to be a layering piece. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of white, and this measures 3 1/8 square. That's going to go like that. And then I have my piece of designer paper, and so essentially the white is going to act like a frame around my shaker element. And this is what we're going to use, and this will be for the inside, 5 1/4 by 4, and the leftover, just a leftover strip of the designer paper, same as on the front. But what's nice about this paper is 6 by 6, so when you go to trim it, you cut 2 inches off. That gives you your 4 across, and then you turn it, and if you're cutting at 5 1/4, it gives you this 3/4 inch piece, which is perfect for the inside. So, and then you have a 2-inch strip, which is great for doing any offset layering. So I'm going to set all my pieces aside for the moment. I need to cut my window sheet. This piece of bokeh paper is 2 3/4 square, and I want my window sheet to measure exactly the same. So I'm going to cut that at 2 3/4. These window sheets come 2 in a pack, and they are 12 by 12. So for this particular card, I will be able to get 16 pieces. Is that right? Yeah, 16 pieces from each sheet of 12 by 12, which is great because I need 23 for Saturday. So I will have enough even with all these pieces that I am cutting. Okay, so now I have experimented a couple of times to see what's the easiest way to get the bunny in the middle of my paper and everything. So here's what my trick will be. And because I'm going to be stamping on my window sheet, I need to use StazOn. Our Memento Black will not, it will smudge. So you need to use Memento Black, which, by the way, stains your stamps black, which is fine. All right, so I'm going to stamp this right on my designer paper first, and I'm centering it because I want to make sure I leave enough for my foam strips. So I'm going to give that a press, and this will also tell me if I need to re-ink it before we go to the window sheet. That looks pretty good. So this StazOn dries faster than our regular ink pads. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a little handle on, like so that I can get that right where I need to with my punch. So I'm going to eyeball all the way around. That looks good. Now don't throw away your bunny. We're going to use that piece. Alright, so now I have this. And this is what is going to get stuck to this here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my seal. And I'm a liquid glue person, but I don't want to use liquid glue around window sheets because it's not forgiving. It's kind of like with the foil. It just makes a mess if it leaks out. So, all right, so I've got my piece, and these are the same size, but the easiest thing to do is just find one corner. If my hand would stop shaking, it would help. I don't know why, but okay. There we go. So I just found a corner and laid it down. Okay. So now I have my window sheet attached. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my bunny again, and I'm going to stamp through my window sheet. Okay, so let me just pull. I don't want my head to be in the camera, but I just need to pull it a little closer so I can see. You guys can still see that, right? Okay, so just like that, right through the window. Give it a good press. Give it time to transfer that ink to the plastic. And there you go. That is perfect. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. So my two bunnies together. And let me set this aside. I store my StazOn upside down too, so that, but basically I don't use it all that often, so I always have to re-ink it before I go any further. All right, so now let's build the front of our card. And I'm going to attach my piece of designer paper. And before we go tonight, I'm going to show you, we'll talk about the last chance list, which just came out. Used to be called the retired list, but now it's called last chance, which I like that name. I think it's kind of fun. All right, so I've got that. Oh, and you know what I just did? I forgot to do my ribbon, but that's okay, because we will go around the card with my ribbon. Let's see, unless I can lift that up. Can I lift it? Ooh, I might be able to. Let's see. All right, good. Good enough. Let me just stick that there for a second, and I'll cut my ribbon. I don't know what happened to the roll of ribbon I had started. It's all right. We'll just start a new roll. All right, and I'm going to need about that much. So I'm going to take that. All right, we'll put an end in there, like so. Oops, don't press down the other side. And an end in here. And I put a little bit too long. So like that, and then I just want to put some seal right there because I want tape to be on both sides of that ribbon there. And we'll retape this all up so it works. All right. Oh, very crooked. What am I doing? Making a mess. All right. Hold on. I got this way too far over to this piece of tape. So I'm pushing that back under. Okay. So that will work. And then this needs to get, this side needs to come up. do as I say, not as I do. The ribbon goes on before you glue this down. In a perfect world. All right, one more little bit of tape, and then I don't, whether it's straight or not, we're going with it. There. That is called a rescue. All right, so that's good. Let me just burnish that on the top to get any wrinkles out that I caused by bending it. All right, so now I want to put this down right here. Okay, so I've got that. All right, now this is going to go right in the middle. See how the white kind of frames it? And we need to pop this up because we need something to help keep the gems where they belong. And so the way we're going to do that is with these foam adhesive strips. They come, you get 40 strips. They come 12 inches, I believe these are. I just cut some down in half, and what I'm going to do, these are thicker than dimensionals, so when we get to, you'll see I leave a spot that's not covered, and I can't use dimensionals to fill that in. I need to use a piece of this too. So you can come up to the corners and then cut it. I'm going to be making kind of some sharper corners. If it's a circle, you can definitely get this to bend. But I'm going to just go ahead and do it like this. And basically you want it close to your shape. You know, I don't want all my sequins to go under there, but I also don't want this to show from underneath. So close is good, but leave yourself a little bit of room. So see how I just kind of bent that one around the corner? So I'm going to take another piece of strip and continue going around the feet. All right. Oh, that worked out perfectly. Okay. So now I'm going to just give that a little snip. I think you can see that right there. There. All right, and then I just need, this is where I said you want to remember that these are taller than a dimensional. So if I just put dimensionals in here, it wouldn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and put just a couple strips here. Hello, my friend Anne. We are making this card on Saturday, so I'm happy that you'll be there. I'm making a shaker card. So I just have that, and I'm going to use just a little tiny piece, just 2 little more pieces, and I just don't want my corners to sag. So I'm going to put it like that and like that. Just make sure it's not showing. I got another one that was a little close, so let me trim that one off. There. All right. And since the backing wants to come off, we'll go ahead and peel the backing off. Normally, you could also take a dryer sheet and wipe the inside of your window sheets to keep the static so the sequins don't stick to it. I forgot to do that, and now I'm not going to worry about it. All right, let's clean this up and get our ribbon away. This ribbon is in, I believe, the mini catalog. It's just white 3/8 inch ribbon. Actually, I think it's a new online exclusive. It ties really nicely. In fact, I forgot to tie my bow, so we'll leave that out. All right. Okay, now I need my sequins. And the Bokeh Sweet, the Beautiful Butterflies Sweet collection in our mini also had the paper, and it has this itty bitty bokeh mix. And so I'm going to just put a pile. Now, part of the mix are these big kind of balls. I separated those out. They're too tall to fit inside the cover there. So luckily there aren't that many of them, but you do want to give yourself a nice healthy amount of sequins. And I like putting them all in the pile in the middle so that they're not in the way of my sticky. All right, and then I'm going to center. As I come down, I'm going to be looking around, and I'm going to try to center so that I have the same amount of trim of white showing all the way around. Yay, look at, isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. Now I have not made these shaker cards because honestly I'm a little scared of them, but that's pretty easy. So you just want to take your time, and everything works out fine. So let's go ahead and finish this card, and I'll show you some other cards I've made with the Easter Bunny set. And I hope that you look in your stash and you find a nice bunny that you can use. You know, if you don't have a punch in the shape of a bunny, you can always do a circle and put the bunny, stamp the bunny on the window sheet inside the circle too. All right, so I made my knot, my bow, and let's get rid of this. Hey Cindy! And I'm going to put my faux bow just like that, and I am going to use these are glue dots from my paper pumpkin, but I'm going to use them because they're a little bit bigger, and I want to I want to put some under this ribbon here, so I'm going to, what's the top? Get under. Oh, it's stuck to my finger. Okay, so I'm just gonna like secure this ribbon down. There we go. Get the cover off. There. And let's do this again, but I'm going to take the cover off first. Did I get it? Yes. That time I did. Okay. So I am going to pick that up just like that, and I want to secure this side. There. All right, and then the last one will be, I'm going to take this off again. That one came with me, so we're going to put my glue dot right there on my bow. And I'm going to wait to put that on because I want to stamp my words. All right, so you know how I like to keep my strips, you know, from when you trim your white. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral ink, and let me see, what did I do with my little stamp that I had for this? I probably put it somewhere safe. I didn't put it away. That would be silly. Okay, I know it's right here somewhere. Bear with me. Because I had my little pieces right here, all ready to go. And do these. That is really strange. All right, well, I'm still looking for it. That is really strange. You guys don't see a stamp here on my table, do you? Let me see. Right before I went live, I took everything off my desk and threw it on top of my shelf here. So let me just see if that went with it. But what's so weird is it was in my little box here just a few minutes ago. Ay, 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 ay. Let me see. I did find a missing stamp today, though. Oh, I found it. See, I had a whole box ready to go, and it was on the other table. So this is like for my demonstration at my class tomorrow. So I'll show people how to put their foam strips. And then here's another sample I made earlier. Okay, so we got our words. And this comes right from the Happy Easter in the Easter Bunny set. You can put that away, put these away. All right. My room is not that big that I can't find things. Let's see if that's big enough. I might need a bigger strip, but we'll see. Yes, that looks perfect. All right, and let me get my inside. The inside piece is right here, and I want to stamp that too. What I have from the set has Happy Easter and Easter treat for you, which I don't really have a treat other than the card is a treat, but that's okay, right? And I have a little carrot. Oh my gosh, so cute. And then I'm going to take one of my strips here, and I'm going to, actually I'll take this one because that's a little bigger. I'm going to do another carrot on my strip, like so. Oh my gosh, set these down. Saturday is class, yes. I found a stamp that I'd been missing since Valentine's Day, and the way I found it was really lucky because I was going through my catalog marking on the pages themselves of which one. Oh, did I keep saying it's tomorrow is class? It's really Saturday. You're right. Teleworking on Wednesday and Thursday throws me off of which day is Friday. Plus, I didn't work on Monday, so it's been a weird week for me. But as I was saying, I was looking through my catalog and to mark up the pages, and lo and behold, my Happy Valentine's stamp from Be My Valentine was inside my book, stuck to a page. I would have never found that if I hadn't been going page by page. So I'm pretty happy about that. All right, so there's my inside. I really like to decorate my inside using these strips of designer paper because you end up with so many of them. So, and now for this, I want to pop up. But I noticed on my other one that it wasn't and it's because the ribbon wants to let go. That's why I put the strip underneath this time. The glue dot will help hold the ribbon down, so my sentiment does not kind of bounce around a little bit. And I'm going to just trim that kind of on a corner, on a slant, I mean. All right, just like that. Happy Easter. Oh, and here I'll bring my bow back in. Let me close this up so I don't have a accident there. And I'm going to use my glue dot box this time instead of the other glue dots. And I'm going to put my bow right there. And so it looks like I've wrapped it around and tied a bow, but I really didn't. It actually just saves a little bit of ribbon and probably a whole lot of frustration. Okay, so let me get this carrot here, and what I'm going to do is I just colored in the carrot with pumpkin pie. I stamped that with the Calypso because I didn't want to put black on the table and have people mess up the StazOn black or Memento black, but actually I didn't really need it because this works out just fine. Color the tops a little granny apple green, and then do a quick snip. This is pretty easy fussy cutting here. Just like so. There. Trim that a little bit more right there. All right. Fussy cutting's done, and I am going to use a glue dot for this here because it's such a small little piece there on the back. I'm going to just press that down there and then one up on the green. I tried to use my tape earlier and it's hard to get it in just that little bit. So I'm just going to put my carrot right there. And there is the Happy Easter shaker card. So here's the other color I made with just a different paper, and came out really cute. I could have raised my ribbon up, but I'm lucky I got it on because I kind of messed that up. So very easy. You know, Cindy, I have done it that way. I believe this one is an original glue dot box. Is it? Nope, I made this box here. I have done it. I find it easier to just make my own box. Actually, let me just tell you, this is the original glue dot box. But on the ones that I have made for others, I make the boxes. I find that that's easier. I think that's why I have this one. There's a couple of problems with it, but I don't like having just, you know, if you don't trim your paper just right because the box is black, it shows. So I like just using a clean, a white box, make my own box and fix it. I just use thick cardstock for that, thick white. So, yep, I have a template. So if you remind me, I can email that to you. I actually have a video on YouTube too on how to turn a boring glue dot box into a piece of decoration. Oh, and so we have our little bunny here, so we don't want him to go to waste. And what we're going to do is put him on our envelope, just right like that. So I'm going to just use a little bit of glue for that so I can get it right to the edge so that it doesn't lift. I'll probably even put a little piece of tape over it for the envelope. The postage people really don't like it when you put stickers or anything on the front of your envelope that could catch in their machine. There. So that's how you do it. And this is, let me show you some other, so that one goes with that. I'll show you some other cards I made with our Easter Bunny stamp. I made this one. These eggs come in the set like that, and I just colored them, and this was from the Hedgehog, I think. So two older sets. I used a lot. I used the words and the flowers. I don't always do that. And on this, I just stamped on petal pink. I didn't even color. This one, there was a celebration stamp set with carrots last year. I love that one. I'm a big gardener, so I love anything to do with gardening. And so here's my carrots. I don't think it, oh, I did. Everything's coming up carrots. And then this one, just again, I stamped the eggs on designer paper, so I didn't have to color them, and then I just cut some fringes with, I don't know. I didn't send this out because I'm not sure I liked it that much, but it's good to show as an example. So that's my episode for Crafter Stash tonight, and I hope you enjoyed, and we'll pull out some of your oldie but goldie stamp sets. Oh, you know what? Before we go, I wanted to show you the last chance list. So the last chance list came out on Tuesday this week. This is April 3rd, and so it came out on April 1st. Felt like it was an April Fool's Day joke, but it wasn't. And I will have this printout available on my website, backyardstamper.com, so that you can refer to it or print it out. It's in alphabetical order, which for me makes it easier because then the stamps and dies come in together. And then, as you'll see, what I've done is I've taken my highlighter, and anything that I have highlighted I've actually marked in my book as last chance. So some of these are from the online exclusives, and I haven't done that yet, or from the spring catalog, this catalog here. These are on the last chance. So this last chance list is quite larger than they normally are, and that's because we have our annual catalog retiring and the spring mini catalog retiring. So that's why there's so many products, way more than there usually is on the list. But the good thing is there are a lot of really good deals. So be sure to check it out. I know I printed this on April 1st, and I'm not sure the in colors are still available because those tend to go fast, the refills anyways. The painted lavender stamp set and dies are on here, but the paper is staying in the book, in our new catalog, so I'm very happy about that. And then I'm sad about Ocean Friends, so I'm going to write into Stampin' Up! Because that's a new one and the paper is fantastic. I think they should push that over to the online so that it doesn't get retired yet. So the way the last chance list works is when it's on the last chance, that means they're not going to restock if it sells out. It's last chance. When it sells out, it's gone. The online exclusives have become an online category. They're not necessarily online exclusives anymore because anything that is not in our new catalog coming out on May 6th and it hasn't been retired on the last chance list, will be pushed over to the online. So there's still a lot of things that are going to be available out of our annual catalog, but they won't be in print. They will be in the online category. So I'm working on a list of what carried over so I can at least mark my book. But I might not be able to tell for sure until May 6th when I've seen the new book, So I know what's in the new book and I know what's on the last chance list, but I still don't want to just assume. I'd rather see what's getting pushed over for sure. But if you have a moment, check your last chance products and see if you can pick up any at a really good deal. Look at this. Halloween Spells designer paper is $3.75. I just saw that. That paper was incredible with purples and greens and orange and black. Just perfect for any kind of Halloween. So anyways, I'll have this available so that you can download it on my blog or on my website, backyardstamper.com. Let me come back so I can say hey. And yeah, so I'm loving this series of Craft Your Stash, and I hope you are too. And the purpose is to just bring those stamp sets out and dust them up and use them. You know, we buy the stamps because we really like them. Sometimes we think we like them, and then we get them and they're not quite what we thought they would be, and that happens. But most of the time the stamp sets that I buy are ones that I love and I know I'm going to use again and again, and so that's why I have this Craft Your Stash series. So and if anybody's looking for new bunnies that are in the current catalog, we have the Storybook Friends that have bunnies with the Easter saying and everything. So there's always going to be something comparable to what I'm showing you available. So I hope you all have a great night. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments after the live ends, and I'll go back and check them. And be sure to give me a thumbs up. I'm up to 510 subscribers. Yay! So my next goal is 600, so we'll see how long it takes me to get there. You know, I'm trying to set reasonable goals for myself, but you never know. It just takes one person to share it with all their friends, and all of a sudden it takes off. So yeah. Anyways, hope you have a great night. Cindy, I will talk to you soon, and Ian, I will see you Saturday. And yeah, we're making that shaker card in our class, so it's going to be fun, fun, fun.